Hello guys, and today I'm very excited because this is the final part of the book review of the Percy Jackson series, and after this it's going to be my favorite part, which is ranking all of these books, but that will be later on. And here is the book which I'm going to be reviewing today, and it is The Wrath of the Triple Goddess. Now this book, I accidentally ordered a longer version of this, so the pages are longer, but anyway, it doesn't really matter because the book is still the same. So let's begin with the plot. So the plot of this book revolves around Percy attempting to gain a second quest to get a second recommendation letter to go to New Rome University. His first being a recommendation letter from Ganymede for retrieving his chalice of the gods. And he has not received any quests for the past 3 or 2 weeks now, couple of weeks, and he is quite enjoying and relaxing in life, so he is quite happy. But then of course he gets called to the principal's office. Apparently one of his aunts is coming to take him home. Now Percy knows that he does not have any aunts on his mother's side of his family, and the only way he can actually have aunts is the godly side of it. So he knows he's in for some trouble. So he goes there. His counselor Eudora is quite surprisingly frightened and tells him to just go to the principal's office hastily, and she just leaves in a very hasty manner. That creates some suspicion in Percy's mind, but that'll be answered later on in the book. He then enters the room where he is confronted by Hecate. Now, Hecate tells him in a very dramatic way by revealing 3 of her faces, which are these faces here. There's a horse, there's a wolf, and there's a lioness. That's why it's called the Triple Goddess. Anyway, so she then basically threatens him so much that he wets his pants. A 17-year-old boy wetting his pants because of a goddess, and he has faced many other foes before this, even Tartarus, and none of them were able to scare him to this extent. This shows how frightening the goddess Hecate is, and the fact that she was able to prevent other gods such as Hermes and Aphrodite from actually giving quests to Percy, which were much easier. That just shows how powerful she is. I mean, she's the goddess of magic. How isn't she not going to be powerful? So the quest basically states that Percy needs to look after her house for about a week. Now, why does he need to look after the house? As she is going over to celebrate Halloween with other, religious cults who might worship her or have been a little misguided while worshipping her. Like they started worshipping her, but they have moved on a little bit. Their religion has been transformed. She really wants to bring them to the right path, as she says. So that was what she is going to be doing for the week, while she has enlisted Percy and his friends, Grover and his girlfriend Annabeth's help to look after the house and her 2 beloved pets, who are the Hell Hound. I'm not going to reveal her name yet. And there is Gale, the polecat, who has also come in the Heroes of Olympus series multiple times. And so now Percy then talks to Annabeth at her boarding school, tells her about this information, and Annabeth is rather excited. She tells Percy that she has been planning to host a Halloween party, and she believes that they can host a party at Hecate's house and, just finish, take off all the decorations by the time she comes, and she will not know what has happened in this house. And so a lot of things happen. They enter the house. They encounter 3 statues outside. One of them always says the truth, one of them always says lies, and one of them speaks gibberish. So after entering in the house, they encounter many things. First of all, the Hellhound, whose name is actually Hecuba, and Gale, the polecat, of course, the Frater, and eels, who have been stored away in an aquarium type of thing, and Hecate, then realizes that humans require bathrooms and make bathrooms for them, which is quite intriguing to me that she didn't know that bathrooms existed anyway. So she does that, and then she also informs them about 3 torches that are hung at the wall and that they can only use it during emergency situations only. So there's the clause. Then she leaves, and now they're in charge of the place. They have to strictly follow the routine of Hecuba and Gale because, again, these are supernatural creatures who were earlier human beings who have been converted into creatures. So that just makes them even more vulnerable and sensitive. So they need to take care of them thoroughly. During their first walk for Hecuba, she literally races off, and it's such a comedic scene. But a lot of things happen. Hecate also informed them about a strawberry cake that if they eat it, a very bad thing will happen to them. And Grover is addicted to strawberries, and so he eats it. After being enlisted to watch after the house, he literally eats it. And you know what he becomes? He becomes this giant satyr creature. What is that? He just becomes an entire giant satyr creature, breaks the house, turns it into shambles, and well, all because of a strawberry cake. Percy is understandably a little angry on his friend, but he can't really show that because he will be even more hurt. But now he has 2 more tasks other than fixing the house, and that is Gale the polecat and Hecuba are missing. Now he needs to find them, so he calls on Mrs. O'Leary, and during that journey they find the cutest hellhound puppy, Nope. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Nope in other of Rick Riordan books. He's going to make 1 more book for the series and probably releasing in 2027. I really want to, learn about more about Nope. He's such a funny and cute hellhound puppy. Anyway, so a lot of things happen. They realize that Hecuba was actually a Trojan queen. Now, understand this context a little bit. A millennia ago, there was a humongous war. The Trojans vs the Greeks. Now, the Trojans were a group of people, and the Greeks were also a group of people who were fighting with each other, and the gods had picked sides during the Greek and Trojan war. And Hecuba was the Trojan queen. The Greeks had tricked the Trojans by sending the infamous Trojan horse into their territory, killing all their soldiers, killing all of Hecuba's children and her husband, and leaving her basically widowed. And Hecate takes pity on her and converts her into a hellhound and keeps her as a pet. So that's quite a dark story. And from then on, she has been trying to torture Greek people. And that's why she has raided Greek restaurants and many other things. And finally, Percy is unable to stop her during that day. He is unable to convince her that it is safe and whatnot. But finally, at the end, they are able to convince Hecuba to join the cause. Additionally, they also have to go and find Gale the polecat, for which they have to go through many sorceresses, you can say, water nymphs or sorceresses that used to work at Circe's Island in the Sea of Monsters, who Percy has a personal vendetta with, I guess. And he literally incinerates one of them using a own poison, ties one of them with a gift trapper, and does so many more crazy things along with his friend Grover. Also, Grover tries to commit suicide in the story. And no, I'm not going to add any context to that. You're going to have to read it. Anyway, so this happens, and now Percy finally manages to convince Gale to come on board. But now his third objective is to fix the house before Hecate comes, because if he does not fix the house, all 3 of them are going to be incinerated. And the Halloween party is basically non-existent for now. So he knows that in order to fix this, they want the ghost of a Dutch architecturer who used to work in in New York, which was at that time named New Amsterdam by the Dutch. So he's a Dutch architecturer who Annabeth knows can command an army of ghosts to fix the entire house in one day. But in order to do that, he needs to use those emergency torches that Hecate had left. Chiron, the camp director, had warned him not to do so, as this might be a trick, such as the strawberry cake trick that Hecate might be playing on them, to urge them to make mistakes, to go for those torches. But they have no option left, so they do that, and they realize that they're able to command the ghosts using them. And finally, after a lot of shabam takes place, Percy loses control of those torches. All the ghosts then raid the house and start fighting. They are unable to be defeated. Finally, a bunch of other guys from Camp Half-Blood who were supposed to come to the party come around. They beat them. They have the Halloween party. Hecate comes at the end, and he has lists of things that he wants Hecate to do. One thing is that he wants Hecate to treat Gale and Hecuba, then more than just pets. And a second very important thing, he wants to open the School of Magic. Now, I believe Riordan has taken a page out of J.K. Rowling's idea of Harry Potter here, because he has made a school of magic where wizards or demigods who have not been able to attend Camp Half-Blood or go to the Hunters of Artemis, the Roman camps or whatever, can attend that school. This was more than 100 years ago, but Hecate had to close it after a mishappening took place. This also involves a little bit around Sally Jackson, Percy's mother, but I'm going to leave that as it is a major spoiler. But that's the end of the plot of the book. It's quite a good book. I'm not going to read it now, because now it will be the rankings of all of these. Stay tuned, demigods.